You're a good dad, Jeff. You're a good dad if we're grading on a curve. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens. How are you sleeping, Jeff?
Last night, not great.
No?
I'm usually the guy that has no problem falling asleep, staying asleep.
Yeah.
It's the little people in my house that prevent me from having delightful, long-lasting sleep.
Yeah, because they don't sleep. They act like they do.
They hate sleep.
No.
I don't get it.
Sleep's the enemy.
Because
listen.
Dude.
When I was a kid, I remember. I mean, listen, we all remember this: being a kid and just being like, "I'm not going to bed. Fuck you."
Oh, the worst thing.
What? I go to bed and then what? I sleep and then what? It's tomorrow.
I miss out on all the fun I've been having.
Yeah. Listen, when you're a kid and you feel like your schedule is regimented against your will,
yeah,
you're just like, listen. The only free time I have is this like post dinner, post bath, like this is my time, baby. This is my time. And you're going to take it from me by making me sleep?
Yeah. I got to fight against the night, you know?
Oh yeah. What are you doing? Because you're still up. What are you doing? I remember
exactly.
I remember interrogating that very, very intensely.
Oh yeah.
Just, well, then what? Why? How come it's not bedtime for you? What are you doing?
How come you and mommy are watching TV? You and mommy are watching TV?
Yeah, what's on TV? That's so cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Are you playing better video games without me? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. The video games you play suck.
That's right.
Listen, you've got some good games, kid, but the video games I have are so much better than yours, and you cannot play them. Why?
They get played at night.
Yeah, because you are dumb and uncoordinated. They're not for you. Sorry. Yeah, so they try to stay up, but I mean, when they actually do go to bed, do they kind of sleep through the night?
Sometimes it's 3:00 and it's I'm hungry or I'm thirsty or I got scared or whatever it is, and that's not fun because groggy dad is like, what you need? Okay, it's all right, whatever it is, here's a bagel. Go to bed.
Entire bagel in your mouth. Shut up. Just please shut up. Yeah. I, as you know, am an insomniac. And the first time I remember staying up the entire night, I was probably your kid's age.
Oh, really? That's that early?
I remember it. I remember just staring at the clock all night and just being like, this can't be how it works. Like, I'm supposed to sleep. This is ridiculous. Why is it not happening? And I remember I was like 7 years old.
Did the goblins come out?
Yeah, like what's happening? Like, is this when I meet the Goblin King? Is this when the Lord of Nightmares appears to me and says that I'm not doing things according to plan?
Yeah.
The secret night market full of magic that all the adults go to can't open because they know there's one child whose eyes are not closed. What's going on? The answer is nothing. The answer is nothing is fucking going on.
It's just a tick, tick, tick of that old clock.
That's all it is, baby. And I remember telling my mom about it the next day, and she was like, "No, I think you just thought you were awake." She's like, "That's probably not true. You probably slept through some of the night." And I was like, "No, I did not. I remember not sleeping through the night."
All right, if you were really awake, what number came after 3 a.m.?
Yeah. If you were really awake, then what did I buy at the magical night market that only adults are allowed to go to? No, and later on in life, I remember telling her about that. I was like, "Man, you remember like when you told me?" And she was like, "Yeah, I figured you maybe had stayed up through the night because I got insomnia at your age, but I was hoping that it wasn't true. I was hoping that you wouldn't that wouldn't happen again." I was like, all that happened was I didn't tell you again because you didn't believe me.
It became my night secret.
Yeah, it became my night secret. I would just get up and like turn on my light, and I'd just be like, "Well, I guess I'm playing with toys."
That is, I'm telling you, that is one thing I am consistently grateful for, is that knock on wood, I have not had problems going to sleep in my life.
Oh,
and I know people struggle with that. Yeah.
My entire life is that. And they've connected it now. They say ADHD is connected to it's some sort of a sleep disorder adjacent thing, but they don't know. They don't care. Nobody cares. Everybody else is asleep, dude.
That's right.
Everybody else is asleep. They're like, shut up, dude. We're all sleeping.
We would work on this, but I don't really enjoy sleep.
Yeah, we would work on this, but we have to work all day, dude. We can't work at night when you're awake, too. Fucking figure your shit out, dog, is what they say.
Yeah.
But it does turn out, Jeff, that my mom was onto something. There is now a new theory that says that if you were up all night, to get lucky.
Yeah, right.
If you were up all night, you actually may have been asleep.
What? That is a nonsensical headline.
That is a ridiculous headline.
You may have actually been asleep.
Up all night? Fuck you.
Awake? You're sleeping.
Yeah. Subjugation is freedom.
Yeah, that's right.
What?
Up is down, left is right. Dogs and cats living together.
Yeah. All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others, Jeff. No, what they're saying is that yeah, people think that they are insomniacs, but they are actually sleeping through a good portion of the night.
You're sleepwaking.
You're sleepwaking is what they call it. And you're never supposed to sleep awake sleeper. What?
So wait, so is this more a function of how we perceive time and the fact that we've been up at hours that we're not supposed to feels like we've been up all the hours we're not supposed to, even though it's only a portion of them?
Yeah. So basically the thing is, this is a condition that is called subjective insomnia or paradox. Yeah. Right. Oh, you're an insomniac. What does that really mean?
From a field known as condescending medicine.
That's right.
It's subjective insomnia.
It's condescience is what they call it. I've got a doctorate in condescience. Paradoxical insomnia.
Doctor, my arm is broken. Is it though?
Is it though? Like, is how broken? Like,
are you just maybe just whining about it?
Like a lot broken? Because it feels like maybe it's not.
What you have is the not broken arm.
Yeah. This is called dad science. This is called walk it off science.
Yeah.
Is essentially what it is. It's like,
rub some dirt on it.
Yeah. I'm cold. Are you? Are you? Because it seems warm enough in the house to me. This is dad science.
I totally do that, by the way.
I know you do. You're the worst. You're the fucking
I'm the
worst. I have literally told you before that you cannot do that. It's the worst dad behavior in the world, and it saves you almost no money. You're just a monster.
I'll do something like, I don't know, put some product in his hair. Like, I want him to look nice. We're going out of the house. He needs to look nice. Dad, it hurts. It doesn't hurt.
Well, in that one, you're true. In that one, you're telling the truth. That's like when I go to cut Dagger's hair, and I'm cutting it with scissors. I'm not touching it. And he does his little human scream. My little Pomeranian, who makes no noise at all, doesn't whine, doesn't howl, makes a tiny human child scream.
Wilhelm scream?
Yeah, when I cut his hair. And I'm not pulling on it. It's really long hair, and I just cut it, and he's like, it's like it doesn't hurt. You're lying.
My kids, if you clip their fingernails, it doesn't hurt to clip your fingernails.
It's empirically false. I thought you were talking more about the temperature thing, which you pull on your kids, which makes you like a nightmare father. It makes you like the worst stereotypical father. Yeah,
I do that too.
You do that.
Let's focus on the part where you agree with me.
No, I agree with you on most things, but the temperature thing, you're a jerk. I'm an adult now, and I know how much money you save. It's not much.
It adds up.
Let people be comfortable. It barely adds up. It barely adds up. Buy one less puzzle a month, you dork.
I need those, though.
I need those puzzles. So here's the thing. It's called paradoxical insomnia. subjective insomnia, or sleep misperception.
Wow.
So here's what's going on with people with subjective.
It's called a wronger sense.
Yeah, it's called dumb, dummy, dumber. Called get smart, idiot. So basically, people who have this, like, they'll go into a sleep study. They'll put the electrodes on your brain. They'll like record you. They'll do the whole thing with the polysomnograph.
Yeah.
Which is like, you know, I have to go to a sleep study soon. I've done like multiple sleep studies in my life.
Well, try not to lie this time.
And most of them, I refuse. I go into the sleep study and they're like, now we're going to rescue you. And I'm like, and they're like, you know, it's not better to do one or the other, right? Like, we're literally just trying to help you. And I'm like,
good I am at this sleep study.
Like, we're literally just trying to help you. And I'm like, oh, what? I couldn't hear you. I was so asleep. Were you talking to me? I couldn't tell because I'm the best sleeper.
You gave me high marks, right?
Yeah. Most of my sleep studies have been take-home sleep studies, which I don't know if you're aware they have those now.
Take-home sleep study. You monitor yourself in some way?
Yeah,
they got an app for that?
You wear like a thing on your chest and a thing on your finger and an electrode on your head, and you try to sleep with that shit, and you can't. Right. And then you go, I couldn't sleep because of the electrode on my chest and the shit on my finger and the thing on my head.
So like, that tracks.
Yeah, like what do we do now? It's like when I had headgear.
Yeah.
I had braces and then I had headgear. They were like trying to fix my jaw. And I simply never wore it because I put it on and it was just like the tightest headband around your forehead. And then it's also tugging up on your teeth.
Sure. Yeah.
And they're like, now go to sleep, bud.
I can't do this. I'm doing it. I'm so tired.
And literally,
I don't know how you got insomnia.
My problem is I cannot get to sleep and anything will wake me up. And they're like, wear 18 things and only sleep on your back because otherwise it'll fuck up these things if you're rolling around. Well, part of the problem is that I roll around, isn't it? Dummies. So I've done a lot of these sleep studies, but the big sleep study, which is the one that I have to go in for next, is the polysomnograph where they put all the stuff, they put all the electrode caps on your head and you're sleeping in the actual room and you got the thing. And I think what they're going to find is I simply don't sleep. But what they've found is that some people go in for their sleep study. They get recorded on the polysomnograph. And the next day they go, these people in the study go like, yeah, I barely slept at all. Let's take a look at the readings. I'm so glad to finally have these readings that say I barely slept at all. And the scientists look at the readings and they go, you fucking idiot. You slept.
Oh, you're a liar. Hi, liar.
Why are you lying to us? You're wasting our time. There are people that really don't sleep. Get out of here is what they say. They say, get out of here. You're the worst. And you wasted science's time. And that's the worst time you can waste.
It's true. It's the most precious of times.
No, it's basically sleep misperception. And people are like, wait a minute. What is going on here? Why do these people think that they haven't been sleeping all night? If they've been sleeping all night.
Right. Is it that they've only slept a portion of the night? Or they've had relatively normal sleep duration and their perception is what's wrong?
Well, what's going on is what science likes to call the weird sleep.
They've got intermittent sleep?
The sleep that is incorrect and bad and wrong. What they have is the strange sleep in the form of, REM sleep. REM sleep is our rapid eye movement sleep. That's the deep sleep.
Yeah.
That's the dream sleep. That's the good shit. That's the shit you want.
Real restful.
Yeah. During the REM stage, that's when your brain connects from all systems that it doesn't need. And the ones that keep you aware and awake and vigilant, and it just gets rid of those. And it's just like, okay, now we believe that we're in an endless library with a goldfish and our third grade teacher, right? Because we don't need to worry about what's going on outside.
Right. Yeah.
That's simply not important to us anymore.
Right.
Here's what's happening in people that have the perceived insomnia. They are not disconnecting properly from the systems that keep them awake and vigilant. People that have this paradoxical insomnia think that they're not sleeping because they're having regular thoughts during REM sleep.
Oh my gosh. You know, I've experienced, I don't know if it's this, but it reminds me of an experience that I've had many times in my life where somebody will be awake and about in the house that I'm sleeping in, or, you know, somebody will get up early or whatever it is. And I'm very aware of what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And, oh, that person's making breakfast, or, oh, that person's put a pot of coffee on, or, oh, that person's going to take a shower. But I feel like, oh, I can't sleep because of this noise or this attention diversion, you know, this distraction. But I am sleeping.
You are sleeping.
I am sleeping.
Yeah.
But I'm just like hyper aware of the external world, even though I am asleep. Yeah. And I'll wake up and I will wake up at a certain point and, you know, say, oh, it must be, you know, 6 o'clock in the morning, because that's when you get up and take a shower. Yeah. Like, no, it's 7:30. It's like, what? But I've just been listening to you take a shower. Oh no, I took a shower like an hour ago.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I feel like parents probably, especially parents of like babies, toddlers, really young kids, probably experience this sleep all the time. Yeah. But I feel like it's a mix. I wonder if it is this sleep or if it's just something that's similar where like you are just keeping yourself from getting to deep sleep because you're worried about your kid, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas this is like your body goes into what should be deep sleep and is instead doing something else. So basically, like, people who have this sleep will be like thinking about what's got to be on the grocery list, or reminding themselves about things they got to do the next day. Like they're having like normal upkeep day-to-day thoughts that like you shouldn't be having during REM sleep. Your brain's supposed to disconnect from that stuff.
Are you just describing shitty dreams? You're just having shitty dreams.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Like, is it just the shitty dreams?
Just uncreative, boring, everyday dreams.
Yeah, like, oh, I had a dream last night that my taxes are due soon. That's not a dream. That's simply the truth.
That's right.
That's simply the truth, sir. Like, it's kind of interesting. So here's something that's funny. I used to go to sleep to the podcasts. You know what I mean? Put on a little podcast, go to sleep. Hello to everybody who's trying to go to sleep to this podcast right now. I just ruined it for you. You are now too self-aware and you feel like I'm speaking directly to you and it's fucked up your sleep. And I'm sorry. But what happened was, so I would go to sleep listening to sometimes an actual play Dungeons and Dragons podcast, as one does.
Nice.
And the issue is I would be asleep, but think that I wasn't asleep. I'm still listening to the podcast. And I would feel like I was at the table having the discussion part of it. And I would be like contributing to the discussion, but I'd get mad that nobody was listening to me. Because no matter what I said, it didn't change the podcast.
Right.
So I was in this weird state of half asleep, half awake, where I was still hearing the podcast as it was, but I was trying to participate without actually speaking and not actually being there. And then and every night it would end with me getting frustrated that nobody was listening to me. And then I would wake up.
That sounds like a great pattern to be stuck in.
Great pattern. So I don't do those anymore. I don't listen to those anymore.
You got to get one of those newfangled one side of the conversation podcasts.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
What do you think about that? Mm-hmm.
It's just Dora the Explorer for adults that don't feel listened to as they're going to sleep at night.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's a fascinating theory on that. Man, I don't know why more people at work don't listen to you. You're right. That would be easier.
Can you tell me your problems?
Yeah. Oh my God. So yeah, here's what's up. This was the Netherlands Institute for Neuroscience, which is abbreviated NIN. And every time I see that in this article, I think about Nine Inch Nails.
Sure.
I think about getting the nail gun in Quake.
The Netherlands Institute of Neuroscience will get you closer to God.
They're actually staunch agnostics, if not.
I imagine that's true. They want to do science like an animal.
So basically, what happened was they were like, okay, this is weird. People are reporting that they're not sleeping, and they are sleeping, and shit's going weird. So what they did was they said, obviously, we need to do more science, which means more electrodes.
Sure.
All they did was they took the normal amount of electrodes, which was 6 to 20, which is used in sleep clinics.
Okay.
And they said, nah, dog, we're going up to 256 electrodes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I thought we were thinking maybe double it.
No, dude.
These guys, this is an order of magnitude.
No,
this
the Netherlands.
These guys are serious.
They don't fuck around. They do not
mess
fuck
with
around.
9 Inch Nails.
Listen, you ever like ride a bike in the Netherlands? They take it seriously.
Yeah.
You ever gotten high in the Netherlands? Their shit is intense. You ever had a stroopwafel, dog? They do not fuck around with anything.
That's true. You're right. This is the stroopwafel of sleep studies.
That's what it is. They're just like, man, your pancake, your waffle is garbage. What you need to do is 2-layer of waffle with
Double
caramel in between.
Woo, doggies.
Now we're waffling, idiots. 20.
We're not waffling about waffling.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
20 electrodes. Fuck you.
So where do they put all these new electrodes? Still in your brain?
All on the testicles.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, but they got a lot of great data. No, yeah, it's all around the brain. It's all around the head.
Okay.
So it looks less like the it winds up looking less like the standard polysomnograph and more almost like one of those like functional MRI caps like we've seen before.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
it's like the fishnet with like all the little electrodes. So what happens is they put those on, and in a series of experiments, they woke the sleepers up 26 times on average during the night. This is the most annoying, obnoxious experiment I have ever heard of in my life. If you woke me up once during the night, it would take me 2.5 hours to get back to sleep. How are they waking these people up 26 times a night?
They must have employed my children.
It's fucking wild, dude. I wish I could fall asleep that easily. Where you can say, like, oh, yeah, you fell asleep 27 times. Because remember, that's just how many times they woke you up. You get back to sleep afterwards.
Oof. Now, are they just doing this to any old sleepers, or are they specifically trying to find these insomnia liars?
Now, they said, so they wanted to find like things about these subjective insomnia types. That's what they were studying.
Right. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to call them names.
Yeah, no, they're liars. You can just say it. We're not we're not the researchers. We can say it. These people are liars.
Right. No judgment, but liars.
No judgment, but these people are frauds and charlatans. And what they found is that these people were showing, that's when they found this REM sleep thing. That's when they found that like people with subjective insomnia simply do not experience REM sleep as restful. They don't have rest.
They discovered this phenomenon in this study. Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
Okay. So the people were sleeping even though they got woken up 26 times.
Yeah. So we knew that people were reporting subjective insomnia. We just didn't know why until this. They were like, oh no. It turns out that you are really asleep. Imagine this being the result of the study. Oh no, you're sleeping. Your brain just refuses to rest during sleep.
That's wild.
Your brain won't do it.
It's got shit to do, man.
So and it's like, well, what do we do now? It's like, we don't know, man. This is new.
Your brain's like, I don't got time to worry about you being naked at elementary school right now.
No, I got
There's
time.
actual things that we're trying to do tomorrow.
We got to get our oil changed, dude. It does not matter that you're at the circus with your uncle, but the circus is also the DMV. Fuck you.
We're not doing that.
We're not
doing playing
that.
those games.
We're not doing that. The sock drawer needs to be organized.
I got real shit to worry about up in here.
I am the most sophisticated natural computer in the world. I am an organic computer that is powerful beyond measure. And you want me to imagine that our teeth are falling out at school?
Come on.
Get the fuck out of here. Do some math with me.
Yeah.
We're only alive once and you are wasting me. This means like the people who are having REM sleep do not have what they call immersive dreams. They do not feel physically present in the dream world. They do not have any of those like real deep sleep dreams that people have during REM sleep because they simply don't disconnect from the real world.
Wow. That sounds like a curse that a witch might have given you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You've never dream again.
Never dream. You live a dreamless life.
Now, a lot of people listening right now are probably like, well, I don't have dreams. There's a difference to it. A lot of studies talk about how as you get older, as you're an adult, you remember your dreams less and less. That doesn't mean you're not having dreams. It simply means you don't remember them. And they think that has something to do with the filtering of useful information. So basically, like when you're a kid and you have these vivid dreams, it's because you don't know what's possible in reality. And so your brain is more willing to take in and remember nonsense information.
Right.
Your brain's just like, yeah, of course. Of course you were an owl.
Right.
Of course last night you were an owl. We were an owl.
In fact, you could probably, it feels normal to be an owl.
Yeah, you're probably an owl most of the time. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
One day I'll be the
I don't have enough data to figure this out yet.
Yeah, one day I'll be the most sophisticated natural computer in the world, but right now I'm an idiot, and you're right. We were an owl. But as you get older, it's sort of like how we talk all the time about how our brain is our brain is less about taking in information and it's more about filtering all the information that's out there. Like in the natural world, we don't notice a ton of stuff that's around us because we are only noticing the things that are important to survival, to our happiness, to our health, those sorts of things. And they think that you remember your dreams less and less for that same reason. Your brain is just like, I don't have time for this silliness.
Yeah.
And so you simply don't remember it. Now, because these people are not having immersive dreams, they actually feel that they have slept a very small amount, and they report the fatigue of people that have slept very little because they're not having the proper amount of REM sleep.
Well, that makes sense because we know that the fatigue is not a physical body fatigue. It's a mental fatigue.
Exactly.
The brain is what needs to rest.
So now you may say, hey, how do we solve this? The answer is we don't really.
More electrodes?
We don't really yet, but there are things you can do. But I'm not going to tell you there's the happiest ending in the world for this. But I will tell you we're working on it. We're working on it. But what I want to tell you first is how this is going to destroy you.
All right. I'm laughing because I don't have this, but I'm a little scared I might get this.
Yeah. Don't worry. Just thinking about not being able to go to sleep won't stop you from going to sleep. Don't worry. That never happens. I never lie awake at night going, if you could just go to sleep right now, you'll have enough sleep. If you could just go to sleep right now, it'll be 6 hours. 6 hours is enough. 5 hours, we could get by on 5. Yeah. All you got to do is go to sleep right now. We can get by on 5 hours. 4 hours could do it. It won't be great, but we can do it. So here's what's up. People with interrupted REM sleep, it's strongly linked to disorders like PTSD and anxiety. You haven't rested. Your brain is not in the goodest place. It is in the less goodest place. It's in a mediumist place.
Well, is the reason for that because you've jarred your brain into this state of danger prevention, and that like I can't, even during sleep, I have to be processing all the potential dangers because I have been so scarred by these previous traumas.
Well, I think in this case, it's more along the lines of, I mean, that does sound like it could be. This article doesn't really talk much about that. I do believe there's some sort of cycle there with trauma, where it's like if you can't sleep and then you're not rested and you relive this trauma and then you're more susceptible to new trauma. But in this, it's more just like, hey, just not sleeping, just not being rested puts your brain into a state where stressful things stress you out more.
Yeah.
It's just that thing of where when you're tired, things just affect you more. And they do say that if two people experience the same level of trauma, a good sleeper is less likely to develop PTSD than someone with disturbed sleep.
Wow.
So you're right in that will cause that cycle that you're talking about.
That's amazing.
So interrupted REM, like there's dissolving of emotional distress that accumulates throughout the daytime, right? So REM sleep is this timeout for your brain. Because your brain removes itself from those things from those systems that are like, hey, let's check out what's going on in the world and react to it. It's connected mostly to, those systems are connected to norepinephrine or noradrenaline, right? So when you are...
I thought her script for Sleepless in Seattle is phenomenal.
Please, shout out to norepinephrine, who did not get
she didn't get the recognition she deserved.
No, please. When Harry Met Sally.
Incredible.
She wrote that. Didn't she write that?
She wrote that.
She wrote that. I know Rob Reiner directed it, but she wrote it.
Yeah.
That was norepinephrine. And you're disconnecting from her every night. How does that make you feel?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You need to lean into what norepinephrine is telling you about love and about the friend who was right there under your nose the whole time. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
That's all I'm saying. So norepinephrine is like, it's basically like, hey, the noticing. I mean, we mostly consider it in the simplified sense. It's like stress, but it's just basically like we're noticing, we're thinking, we're taking. You know what I mean? We're taking notice of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you have REM sleep, you're not doing that. Those neurons aren't firing anymore. They're not releasing the noradrenaline. But if you ever been woken up from a deep sleep, like really woken, and you have, because you have children. If you've ever had, had a child scream when you're in the middle of deep sleep and you spring awake, buddy, that's when your brain creates the most noradrenaline to go from zero to we need to be alert.
Yeah. There's a, I hate to use this term, but there's a life hack that you may have heard about. I certainly have heard about the thing where you feel like if you need to stay awake, you're on a trip or something, you need to stay awake or whatever it is, put something in your hand. And then when you fall asleep and it drops out of your hand and you get freaked out that you're going to break that thing, you're jarred awake and your adrenaline is pumping and you're going to stay awake for a lot longer because, my God, I was asleep and now there's danger. There's crisis.
That's so bad for you. But yeah, if you think about why.
It's a sick life hack, dude. You got a life hack.
But you think about that's why in the military you have to stand up straight and you have to hold your gun in that specific up way. Is because the moment you start feeling yourself slip and you feel that gun slip and all that, you're supposed to wake you up. It's not good for you. It's bad
No.
for you. So imagine your brain is doing this a billion D times a night because you can't get into that restful state. Your brain just keeps firing off this norepinephrine all night to get lucky. I can't stop doing it.
Yeah.
So a study from Macquarie University in Australia, this is a great study. Researchers exposed people to a distressing emotional experience for 3 days in a row.
Nice.
Do you know what that distressing emotional experience was?
Spiders?
No, spiders don't scare anybody in Australia.
Oh, that's true. I forgot.
The spiders are in your shoes in the morning.
That's called Tuesday.
Yeah. I think I've told you this before. My sister lived in Australia for almost a year. And there's a thing that everybody did in the morning where she lived, where you, like, before you put on your shoes, you turn your shoes upside down, you clap them together twice because you get rid of the spiders in your shoes. That's just what you do.
It's
just what you do. No, they had to listen to themselves. They had to listen to a recording of themselves singing karaoke.
Ah, that's kind of cute.
No, they had to listen back to their own karaoke performance.
The only thing that Australians are scared of.
They can't sing anything right with their accent. There are too many R's.
You're not allowed any minute work.
No.
That's our only rule.
So they had to listen to this recording of themselves singing karaoke, which aroused shame.
Sure.
In all of them. The people with disturbed sleep, they would disturb people's sleep during this. And half the people got their sleep disturbed, half the people didn't.
Wait, they were just fast asleep, just living it up, just be so serene and happy. And then a recording of them playing Sia's Chandelier, singing it.
Chandelier. I don't know if that's one they say particularly weird.
It's a hard one. It's a hard one to get. You know, I'm imagining they made them do the hardest karaoke songs.
Yeah.
You know.
So no.
You know, it's like it's the worst stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know that they didn't wake them up with the recording of themselves singing. What they did was some people were woken up throughout the night, and then some people weren't. And then the next day, they were asked to listen to this terrible recording of themselves. And then as they were asked to listen to this terrible recording of themselves, they were sort of like wired up to the old brain monitor, and they wanted to see who was feeling more shame. Who was feeling...
Oh, is it the sleep deprived shame or regular sleep shame?
Yeah, and it was the people with this disturbed sleep felt much more distress at having the recording of them playing karaoke played back. It's kind of wild.
Slept, and I also sang Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You.
Shouldn't have done it.
Out of key.
Yeah, should have picked something easy. Why does everybody go to those showcase songs?
I don't know.
There are plenty of great mid-tier pop songs where the people have no range. You could just sing one of those.
Yeah, there's plenty of speak songs, you know?
Oh, please.
Patter songs.
You could sing any song by Cake.
Yeah.
You could sing the entirety of the soul coughing oeuvre.
Nope. No, we all got to go to the hard stuff.
Just go up. Just go up there. There's
Celine
an entire
Dion's
genre of hip hop. You could just go right through it.
That's right. No.
So this is something that could actually be contributing a lot to people's anxiety, PTSD, stress levels, things like that. People who think that they're not sleeping when they're actually sleeping. And so it's like, well, what do we do about that? What do we do for these people? Tell them
Convince them they're sleeping?
Tell them to get good, dude.
Better at sleeping.
Just get better. Just go to sleep, dude. It's like a normal thing. It's like a normal thing, dude.
Just sleep.
Yeah, just sleep. I remember as a kid, my mom would be like, you just got to relax. Just relax and go to sleep. I was like, oh, okay, thanks.
Here's what I'm
Thanks,
worried
Mom.
the answer is.
Cool
Here's
answer.
what I'm worried the answer is to these people.
Yeah.
Ambien.
No. Okay. So yes, there are prescriptions that are given to people who are particularly suffering from stress and sleep deprivation stress. It's usually like like you're saying, it is usually like an Ambien. They're testing whether like a low level beta blocker might help with this, but there are things that are non-medicinal that you can do, which I think is important. It's important that they're studying that stuff. And you will find as you leave the United States of America and go into other countries, that more of those studies are trying to find things that aren't medicinal.
Yeah. Right.
We do have a tendency
because they're not
to
trying
go
to
like,
sell it to them.
yeah. I mean, look, when you live in a country where most of the studies are funded by like fucking Pfizer,
Right.
it turns out there's a pill to solve everything. In other countries, not so much. So what do we do for these people? Number one is cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. Cognitive behavioral therapy is used for a lot of things. There's cognitive behavioral therapy for chronic pain. There's cognitive behavioral therapy for depression, for anxiety. A lot of the stuff where it's like, yes, there are physical components of this. There are physiological components of what you are experiencing, but we do also know that your brain can fall into bad habits and horrible ways of thinking that can exacerbate conditions, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So cognitive behavioral therapy can help with things like that. The other thing that helps is actually sleep restriction methods. So the deal is like, if somebody's lying in bed for 2 or 3 hours before they're able to fall asleep, just stop laying in bed. Go to bed later. It's okay. Like if they're finding that you aren't falling asleep until 1 a.m, stop stressing yourself out trying to get to sleep at 10, at least in the beginning, and allow yourself to stay up until 1 a.m. if that's when you get tired. Because what that will do is it will help you associate going to bed with going to sleep instead of associating going to bed with lying awake for 3 hours before you go to sleep.
Interesting.
You know? If a person objectively sleeps for 5.5 good hours, only be in bed for 6 hours. Don't be in bed for 9 hours. It's just gonna make things worse for you. That actually works really well. They found in a preliminary study that people who delay their regular bedtime for 2 hours showed that it reduces the number of interruptions or arousals during REM sleep. Those like fakey wakies.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you got to be like the KLF. It's got to be 3 a.m. eternal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Boy, we're just going forever backwards and backwards. We're just going deeper and deeper
beep,
into
boop,
the past.
Boop, beep.
KLF is going to rock you.
Yeah, there it is. Beep, boop.
I always liked their ambient album. Their ambient album was my favorite one.
Yeah.
I used to listen to that one a lot to go to sleep. That's a great one. Where it's just like weird electronic noises and the sound of a train passing. Let me tell you something. The KLF, if you're not familiar with the KLF was a dance and electronic music band. And they gave up like they're one of those groups that gave up like one of the biggest record deals in the world, or like gave away their money. And they had like one of the biggest hits in the world with like 3 a.m. Eternal. The other one they had was Justified and Ancient.
Yep.
But they basically just like gave all their money away. But they also created lo-fi chill hop to sleep/study to with their album, with this ambient album that they made. It was truly like half of YouTube right now is lo-fi hip hop with train noises and rain, no thunders. 6 hours.
All rain, no thunders.
Yeah, all rain, no thunders. And it was like, but they did it in the 80s as an album.
Yeah.
And they created it. They created
way ahead of their time.
Lo-fi hip hop for parentheses for tigers only. The album was just called Chill Out. And I listened to it nonstop. And now I just listen to lo-fi beats to sleep/study too. So thank you to the KLF for creating YouTube, is what I'm saying. So in addition to that, they are testing stuff with beta blockers, things like that. They're considering testing this blood pressure drug, clonidine, in the hope that it just
chills you out,
chills your fucking brain out. Like maybe maybe if we get rid of some of that blood pressure in your brain, you'll calm down.
Slow your heart. Just slow your heart down. You'll pass out.
It's fine, dude. Just put yourself in a headlock. They've created a device.
Do that thing where your friend stands behind you and pushes on your chest real hard.
Yeah, you breathe in and then so that's and that's the extent of what they've got. That's it. Remember how I told you it's like it's not much.
Good luck. Yeah. Good luck, sleepers.
Best of luck to you is what we say.
Yeah.
Cognitive behavioral therapy is interesting. I'd be interested in reading some because every cognitive behavioral thing is based on the same theories, but they're focused on different stuff. Like if you get a cognitive behavioral workbook for like ADHD or procrastination, it's different than the cognitive behavioral therapy workbook for chronic pain. But it applies the same theories. But it's all these things where it's just like, hey, can you catch yourself doing these behaviors? And when you do, can you redirect those behaviors? When you catch yourself thinking things like this, can you redirect those thoughts or can you identify those thoughts and what can you do with them? I'm interested in seeing what a cognitive behavioral therapy workbook or intervention for insomnia is like. It's like, hey, are you thinking about not sleeping? Just think about sleeping instead, dude. Hey, dude.
Yeah, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, or CBD.
I know which side of the fence you lie on. I know where you're at. Can I tell you something?
I mean, what's that?
I don't fall asleep on the weeds.
No?
No, but I do just sit there like a lump. But I'm still awake.
He's lump.
Oh, we'll eventually get back up to the present day. Yeah,
That's interesting.
It
doesn't make you tired. It doesn't make you.
No, it makes me tired. But here's my secret, Cap. I'm always tired. That's not the problem.
Yeah.
So I'll just sit there and I'll just be like, "Yep, I'm high. Yep, still high. What is it? An hour and a half later? Cool. Yeah, I'm high. Sure am. I guess.
Boy, you're real lost cause.
What am I supposed to do? I guess I'll play video games. Yeah, video games are good.
What is your current technique for falling asleep? You talked about you used to, listen to podcasts or have, ambient noise and music on. Do you have something that you do nightly to fall asleep?
Well, it depends. It depends on the night. There are different kinds of nights. Because of the chronic fatigue, there are some nights where I can tell I'm not going to get to sleep because it's a physical chronic fatigue thing. There are some nights where it's just regular old insomnia. On a regular night, these days, I can pretty much just lie down in bed and be asleep. It takes a while. Like I don't fall asleep in like 5 minutes like a lot of people. Sometimes it's like 45 minutes, whatever. On a chronic fatigue night, I do have my ceiling projector, which I do wholeheartedly, once again, recommend to everyone.
Right.
The $50.
This isn't a projector mounted on the ceiling.
No.
This is a projector pointed at the ceiling.
That's correct. It's connected to the back of my headboard with suction cups. Because my projector, it was a $50 projector. And Amazon. I know people are going to message me and they're going to be on the Discord and they're going to be like, what projector? It doesn't fucking matter. I don't know. Buy whatever one is cheap.
The one with suction cups on it.
Well, no, it has the thing that mine has. It has a tripod mount on the bottom of it.
Okay.
So I got a little suction tripod, stick it to the back of the old headboard, project it right up the ceiling. Got myself like a, 120, 150 inch screen. And I just put it on. I put it on a timer.
Mm-hmm.
I connected all the outlets in my house are on timers with the smart house. Put it on a 2-hour. Throw on some dumbass. Last night I was watching a 4-hour video essay about the development of Sega Rally for the Sega Saturn.
That'll put you right to sleep.
Oh, baby. It was great. But it was also I'm also extremely interested in it. It was also extremely interesting. That was the first big game by Tetsuya Mizuguchi. That was his opus, his first one.
Yeah.
But so sometimes I'll do that. Yeah. But that's, as far as like getting to, and then, usually I'm asleep before the timer turns off the projector.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, on a night where I'm feeling pretty normal and healthy and like low pain levels and stuff like that, I can usually like just lay down and go to sleep. It takes a longer time, but I used to just not be able to do it without some sort of external media or intervention. Now I can just sort of do it. But I still don't feel like I'm sleeping incredibly well.
Right.
Which is why I'm going in for the next cool sleep study.
Well, I hope they don't. Hope they don't accuse you of being a liar.
Look, if I'm a liar, I'm a liar, and I just need to be confronted with the fact. I think.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need somebody to just look me in the eye. It's just like what con artists say, where it's like they were hoping to get caught. They just kept doing it because they were hoping to get caught.
Yeah.
Like on some level, they just wanted somebody to see them. Like maybe that's what's going on with me. Maybe it's just like, hey, you're a fucking liar, dude. And I'll just pass right out.
That's all you need.
That's all I need.
Someone to call you on your shit.
Exactly. That's what science is here for. It's to call us on our shit.
That's right. I can't sleep. Yeah, you can. And you're out.
It's like, are you pretending again to get a good grade? No, what? No.
Did you draw little eyeballs on your eyelids?
No. These are ping pong balls that I have fixed to my eyes. So there you go. That's
a wild thing.
If you are an insomniac, look into
maybe you aren't.
Look into the fact that maybe you're a big dumb liar. Is what I would say to you.
Yeah.
Give that a shot. I am interested if y'all have any sleep tricks, if y'all are insomniacs, if y'all are the sort of people that fall asleep anywhere, anytime. I'm jealous of those people. I can fall asleep on a plane, no problem. Anytime.
Oh, I love sleeping on a plane.
Sleeping on a plane's the best.
Sleeping on a plane, sleeping on a car.
Oof.
I love the rumble of movement. Oh, it's so nice.
Buddy, sleeping on a plane is the coolest.
Yeah.
But let us know how you sleeping. How you sleeping? A great place to let us know would be on our Discord. How about that?
Indeed.
But
that's the place.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
We're seamless. We're seamless in our
transition. It's only been like
transition.
7 million episodes. What are we doing?
I kept thinking you were teeing me up. Go ahead, knock it out of the park.
I was about to tee you up, but my teeing you up was too long. Is the problem? I was going to say it sounds great. I'd love to find out about that kind of stuff on the Discord, but where do I go? How do I get on the Discord, Jeff?
Oh, that's me. The Discord. There's only one way to be on the Discord, and that is to support the show. Make sure We Have Concerns continues. And for only a single $1 every month,
that's crazy.
You can get access to that cool community of folks hanging out on the Discord, submitting stories, talking about all kinds of stuff, reacting. It's wonderful, wonderful group of people. And it's only at one single $1 a month. But if you have more to contribute, if you'd like this show to continue and you've got a little more scratch to send our way, you get some cooler bonuses as well. You can get bonus episodes, extra audio, extra video, cool Q&As. All of that is outlined for you at patreon.com/wehaveconcerns.
I have the KLF's Chill Out on mini disc.
Ooh.
How does that make you feel?
I have a single mini disc that I still own in my closet. I don't know why I still own it.
What is it?
It's a recording. Ironically, we talked about earlier, it's a recording of karaoke.
Oh, we're putting that on the Patreon. We're putting that on the Patreon.
I mean, it's not me doing karaoke. It's this guy. It's a long story, but there's this guy who would
Never mind.
do
This is dumb.